Be good to me. Sorry, YouTube's the one that likes to fight with me the most, guys. There it goes, yeah. I know the other ones will just pop up. I don't even gotta check. Say what you will about them, but they do work well. And let me remove that mic, because I'm not gonna need that again. I'll just hide it for now. Perfect. And okay, perfect, perfect. All right, nice, nice chat. All right, cool. Yeah, no. Hopefully he gets into some actual tips, though. All right, let's get back to what this guy's talking about. Sorry, I'm glad someone. Thanks for letting me know about that. Yeah, no, it was an issue. I don't know, the mic was set up correctly and it was picking up in recordings. I just literally deleted it and re-added it the exact same way I did before, and it works now. I have no idea why. That's I've had some quirky things with OBS already, so I mean, it's a free piece of software. I can't expect too much with that, you know. But it's worked out so far. Let's see here. Okay, back to this. All right, headphones on.
With their course. Obviously, I'd love it if you were working through the web courses at TCM Academy, but Rana Khalil's course is also an excellent option, and the pathways on 𝗙𝗂𝗵𝗶 are good too. So really, that's it. That's how you get started from zero. Complete a course from start to finish. And next, let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at the roadmap that can fork us in different directions after you've completed this step. So next up, before we take a closer look at what a roadmap might look like, I wanted to run you through how I approach learning new attacks. Now at this point, for me, usually it's more like learning variations or edge cases, because a lot of web attacks have similarities, and I think everything you learn in the field has somewhat of a compounding effect, which is really nice. So TLDR, most of the time, learning gets a little bit easier over time, but also once you're past the fundamentals, we're mostly looking at edge cases or specific scenarios with particular tech stacks or particular configurations. And I think a good example of this is that once you've learned and practiced cross-site scripting, learning attacks like template injection become a little bit easier, because you're still looking for unsafe handling of your inputs and it to be rendered somewhere in the response. But when you're looking at template injection, we need to consider, is it server-side template injection or is it client-side template injection? And depending on if the app is using something like Ginger or Twig, our detection and payloads are going to vary. But the delivery mechanism and the overall methodology of testing, reviewing the application behavior and feedback, and refining are very similar to pulling off a cross-site scripting attack. And so there are a lot of things that we don't need to learn from scratch each time. So if I'm learning something new, I don't really have a solid checklist of do this and then do that. But I do think I naturally tend to follow a sequence of events that I will share with you. I actually recently revisited a XSLT injection, because even though I knew this attack existed, I never really took the time to fully understand it. And it was something that came up in an app that I was looking at recently. So first up, what I tend to do is a Google search and see what blog posts come up on the attack, and read 2 or 3 of these and then stop there, because for most attacks there are so many posts and we don't have unlimited time. If it was a new attack, then I'd read them in detail, otherwise I'm just skimming. Now, I do this first, and this is important because usually there is some kind of narrative or context around why the attack worked in this specific case. So you've got the beginner course out of the way and you want to start to lean into a specific area, so I'm going to give you 3 main options, and what I suggest is take what kind of feels right for you and then lean into it. You don't need to follow this exactly, but hopefully it'll be highlighting things that are useful for you on your journey. So if your goal is web app pen testing or ultimately bug bounty, I think you should commit to completing 𝗤𝗏𝗺𝗃's Web Security Academy. Now, the reason I didn't say this to start with is that whilst it's an amazing resource and completely free,
You didn't say it to start with to waste 9 minutes of your viewers' time. That's why you didn't say it to start with. Ridiculous. Yapping. Yap, 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 dude. Oh my goodness, I hate videos like this so much. You could have just said, hey, let's check it out and maybe describe why it's good and maybe some downsides, but he just yapped so much. This is meant for beginners? I mean, good lord, dude. Good lord. Yap, yap, yap. How about you just tell me 𝗤𝗏𝗺𝗃 Academy? Yeah, dude, for real. Ugh. None of my content is like this, guys. None of it. Not one article, not one video you'll ever get from me will ever have this much fucking yapping in it. Sorry for the language, but god damn, this guy is a yapper. Blah, blah, blah. All day with this. Like, ugh. Sorry. Ugh. Yap. I get you're trying to make some money and extend the content, but man, that just, ugh.
It doesn't cover things like how to set up a lab, how to actually use Burp Suite, how to crawl or do content discovery, how to do directory busting, how different encoding schemes work, how cookies work. But all of these things are really fundamental things that you need to know before diving deep into exploiting targets. But after getting the fundamentals down and then building on that and understanding all of the common attacks and techniques, you're going to be in a really good spot with a good foundation to build on. Now, we haven't really talked about other foundational skills yet, and there's a reason for that. So first up, I think it's important to have basic knowledge of networking, servers, containers, programming, etc., etc. But I don't think that you need to study all of these things before you start your journey into hacking web applications. You're going to have to fill these gaps at some point, and it's a bit like technical debt, but sprinkle them in over time. Otherwise, I think you'll just burn out. You don't need to study to start studying. Now, either while you're working through 𝗤𝗏𝗺𝗃's Web Security Academy or afterwards, do some basic things. Don't go nuts. Maybe follow a 2-hour video tutorial on YouTube over a couple of days on how to build and deploy your first web app. You'll learn a lot from this experience, and then maybe a week later, take a day off your usual topic and wrap that application in a Docker container and redeploy it. And then after that, do something like add some new features or switch out the database. And make sure that you have fun with a side project, and you'll be building knowledge and skills, and probably most importantly, building troubleshooting skills and context that will pay dividends for your entire career. So my point is here that do the other stuff on the side. Maybe one day a week you're working on that instead of working on web hacking. You don't need to go nuts with things like programming, networking, etc., etc. They are key, but get the ratios right. Now, some resources for this are the Odin project, Free Code Camp, YouTube, and I personally really like the 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗶 media. Pick one that looks interesting to you and then stick with it. And over the long run, I don't think choosing one over the other is going to have too much of a big impact, but consistency is really key here. So, where do we go next after this? Well, I'd recommend spending some time solving web challenges and CTFs, and this is going to help you solidify the things that you've learned, and 𝗙HackMe is a good place for this because there's lots of web content, and you can even consider looking for your first certification or taking on more advanced courses. In a nutshell, I think this is a solid path to follow, but has plenty of flexibility for you to swap in or swap out whatever you need. Now, I wanted to talk about continuous learning, and we all have different schedules and commitments in life, but if you can, dedicate a little bit of time each day or on specific days of the week to learning. For me, it's from about 6:30 a.m. to about 8:30, and I'm up at 6 because my
These are the exact steps to take to become an ethical hacker in 2025. This is one of the most sought after cybersecurity careers out there, and for good reason, because ethical hackers make on average in the US around 130 to 140K a year. Ethical hacking and most red teaming roles in general are going to focus on skill-based hiring, which means that employers care a lot less.
So you're serious about learning hacking? Let me tell you up front, it's not about shortcuts or flashy tools. It's about persistence and building a strong foundation. I've walked this path and I know what works and what doesn't. So let me be your guide. I'll share the exact steps I took, the mistakes I made, and the resources that helped me get better. First, let's talk about networking. This was my starting point, and honestly, it should be yours too. When I began, I barely knew what an IP address was. I started with YouTube. 𝗏𝗏 has great beginner-friendly videos, but watching wasn't enough. I downloaded Cisco Packet Tracer and started messing around. I'd simulate small networks, connect devices, and try to understand how data flowed between them. If you're feeling ambitious, try a platform like 𝗙𝗂𝗵𝗶. They have a whole module on networking that's hands-on and beginner-friendly. Once I got the basics down, I jumped into Wireshark. This tool is a game changer. I'd open it, capture my own network traffic, and just look. I'd open websites, download files, and watch how packets moved. It was fascinating to see how my actions translated into data. If you're new to it, look up Chris Greer on YouTube. His Wireshark tutorials break it down step by step. Then came Linux. Look, I know Linux can feel intimidating at first. It did for me too, but you don't need to master it overnight. I started with Ubuntu before moving to Kali Linux, and I recommend doing the same. Ubuntu is beginner-friendly, and you can install it alongside your current operating system or use it in a virtual machine. I'd spend hours in the terminal learning simple commands like ls, cd, and chmod. There's a free resource called Over the Wire Bandit that's perfect for this. It's a CTF capture the flag game designed to teach you Linux commands. Once I was comfortable with Linux, I started experimenting with tools. Nmap was the first tool I learned, and it opened my eyes. I remember scanning my own network and being shocked at how much information it revealed. Open ports, operating systems, services. The Nmap documentation is fantastic and free, so don't skip it. Another tool that helped me early on was Burp Suite. I didn't dive into everything it could do right away, but I used it to understand how web applications worked, how requests were made, and how vulnerabilities could be exploited. Programming came next. Let me be real with you. I'm not a coding prodigy, and you don't have to be either. But knowing the basics makes a world of difference. I started with Python because it's beginner-friendly and widely used in hacking. The first thing I built was a simple script to automate Nmap scans. Then I moved on to writing scripts to parse data or interact with APIs. If you're not sure where to start, Codecademy and FreeCodeCamp are excellent for Python basics. Once you've got the hang of Python, explore Bash scripting. It's invaluable for automating tasks on Linux. As I got more confident, I needed a safe space to practice. Building my own lab was a game changer. I used VirtualBox to set up a small network of virtual machines. One of them ran 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗶, a purposely vulnerable machine designed for hacking practice. The other was a standard Linux server. I'd use tools like Nmap, Hydra, and 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏 to test different attack methods. If you're looking for guided practice, Hack the Box and 𝗙𝗏𝗵𝗏 are fantastic. 𝗙𝗏𝗵𝗏 especially holds your hand when you're starting out, while Hack the Box is better when you're ready to dive into the deep end. Now let me be honest, this journey isn't always smooth. I've spent hours staring at error messages, googling obscure problems, and feeling like I wasn't making progress. That's normal. Hacking is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time. What kept me going was community. Find people who share your interests. Reddit/NetSec and Discord servers for ethical hacking are full of like-minded folks who can help you when you're stuck. One last thing, don't just stop at tools and techniques. The hacking mindset is just as important. Whenever you encounter a system, ask yourself, what could go wrong here? How could someone misuse this? It's this curiosity, this constant questioning that will set you apart. And remember, hacking is about learning, not destruction. Stay ethical, respect boundaries, and focus on building something positive. But I also know how confusing and overwhelming this can feel when you're starting out. There's so much to learn, and it's easy to get lost or waste time on the wrong things. That's exactly why I created Cyberflow's Academy. It's a one-stop platform where I've broken down everything you need to know into step-by-step guides and hands-on labs. Want to master networking? We've got detailed lessons and practical challenges. Need to get comfortable with Linux? There's a whole section on command line basics and advanced tools. The best part? You don't have to figure this out alone. 𝗬𝗏𝗺's Academy is all about community. You'll get access to forums and a network of learners who are just as excited about hacking as you are. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, this is the kind of support I wish I had when I was learning. So, if you're ready to stop guessing and start making real progress, join us at 𝗬𝗏𝗺's Academy. It's your shortcut to learning the right way without the overwhelm. Let's build your skills and get you hacking like a pro in no time.
Alright. We got one more video chat, and it's 11 hours and 20 minutes long from Ryan John. So I'm definitely going to take a bathroom break before that, but before I run off, you know, what'd you guys think of this one? I like this one. This one was good. This one's going to get a thumbs up for me, of course. 𝗬𝗏𝗺, another excellent video from them. Did not yap. That's what I was a big fan of, you know. I'm also trying to do something very similar to his community with my community. I'm just going to be focused more on, I don't know, probably cloud stuff, probably more automation stuff on that level, and then probably more projects. I'm probably going to get into projects more, but it's definitely got to make a good base layer of knowledge. Just like I'm going to be covering almost the exact same things. It was actually right in my plan to cover networking, Linux, Python. All those things are already in the pipeline, of course. I'm probably going to be covering specific commands as well in like little mini videos. Let me know what you guys think of that too. I definitely want to know your thoughts on like mini videos on specific subjects, because I like, me personally, I just love like all right, I understand this now and being able to move on, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, like IP addresses, right? Like you could do a whole video on just IP addresses. So it's like, yeah, something like that. Definitely going to be in my pipeline for videos coming up for you guys, for sure. I still haven't got like a good idea of like what's the bridge of knowledge I need to hit, because like right now all I've got so far are like a few commands I'm not as familiar with, and like some websites to hit. Like, I'm not sure, like, what's this, like, hey, how do you get your first bug? But hopefully this bug bounty course
Welcome
will be really
to
good.
the...
You know, definitely excited for this one. We do have our 𝗙𝗿 cheat sheet. I am kind of curious about looking at some of this other stuff, but I'm assuming I'm going to have to set up Kali Linux box, which we might just do on stream chat. We'll see what the first project entails, but I'm assuming it's going to be setting up Kali Linux for this, like a hard expectation for that. So we'll see. Let me throw on some tunes while I run to the bathroom though. Make sure my dog gets let out really quick before I sit down for an 11-hour video. Oof. Long video, guys. Definitely going to be skipping this intro to Python, but I might do the Python GitHub scraper though. I might just watch it through and then try to pick it apart and maybe, you know, make something even better off of it. Like extend this with some stuff, maybe make that a newsletter article. That might be fun. Holy crap. Oh man, 11 hours. What does this video cover? Does he have timestamps? Okay, here we go. About the course, all about recon, URL hacking, installing 𝗬𝗁𝗔, 𝗫𝗿𝗺 update, path reversal, command make a GitHub scraper. Cool, chat. Alright. And I'll pull this over here for you. What kind of music do you guys want to listen to right this second? I like to pop it around. let's start this 11-hour course. Oh man.
The 2024 update of the complete bug bounty course that I have here on YouTube. If you are new to the channel and you are really new to ethical hacking and penetration testing and you don't have a virtual machine set up, this is going to be a little bit different. In this specific course, I actually took that out to save some room for other things. So if you do not have a virtual machine installed currently on your computer, then you can click in the first link down in the description and it will take you to a video where I will walk you through how to set up a virtual machine, and then you can come back to this course and get started. So a lot of you probably want to know what is new, what has been updated from the 2023 course, and there's actually quite a bit has been updated. I updated pretty much the entire section on SQL injection, cross-site scripting. Some of the IDOR section is still pretty old, but I also updated parts of it that I thought was lacking. I also updated part of the recon and the fuzzing, as well as the file upload and the server-side request forgery. So actually, in all, probably about half of this course has been updated with new information from the previous one. If you've gone through the previous one, then you probably know what you're already interested in and where you need to be working on to get better. So you probably don't need to go through this course again. But if you are new or you want to see some of the newer parts of the course, and you go ahead and click through it, I have listed out where you can skip to see some of the updated portions of this course. And now let's go ahead and just jump into it. We're going to jump in right with the recon, so we'll go ahead and get started. In this video, we're going to talk about how to scan specific targets in bug bounty programs, as well as fuzzing our targets without getting ourselves into any trouble. I know there's a lot of interest in learning how to scan and fuzz bug bounty targets because sometimes you'll be reading through a program's rules and it will specifically say that there is no scanning allowed. Now, there's a couple of ways to get around this, and if you watch my 𝗬𝗲𝗵 video, you can actually use 𝗬𝗲𝗵 to scan your bug bounty targets, and then you don't have to worry about anything because you're using 𝗬𝗲𝗵, and that is one way to get around scanning a target and staying in the clear. Now, you can use InMap and fuzzing tools to do this as well, and that's the purpose of this video. So we're going to go ahead and look at this, and I'm going to show you how to do this without getting yourself into any hot water and to be able to scan these targets without any issue. Before we get going too far, I want to explain to you why you're not allowed to scan these specific targets, and there's really two main reasons. One, the company doesn't want a bunch of bug bounty hunters using 𝗙, which is going to send several hundred requests per second to their server and have them get DOSed. And sometimes if you do this, you will actually get rate limited or even have your IP banned, which is why I always recommend using a VPN. But there is a way to go around this, and I'm going to show you that at the end of this video. And the second reason a lot of programs are going to tell you they don't want you scanning their network is people will use vulnerability scanners, and this is just really a big no-no. Don't use vulnerability scanners. Recently, a program went live, and then they were getting scanned so much with vulnerability scanners that they actually removed themselves from the bug bounty program. So don't use vulnerability scanners. These are the two big reasons why a lot of programs will say no scanning, and so just be aware of that. If you're going to fuzz for directories, make sure to slow down the amount of requests, which I'm going to show you how to do, and don't use vulnerability scanners. Now first, I want to show you how to use InMap without getting yourself into any trouble. I've gone ahead and opened up Tenet from Hack the Box here. If you follow my channel at all, you will know this is my go-to box for web app education. And the first thing we are going to do is run an InMap scan. So we have opened up our terminal here, and you're probably familiar by now with an InMap scan. Now this is the typical InMap scan that I like to run. I'm going to change the IP right here. So if you would like to jot this down, this is how I run an InMap scan if I'm doing a capture the flag. But we are...
Is this a beginner's tutorial? Like, hold on. I know this is kind of basic still, but like, he didn't cover like anything to like get started. Is this supposed to be like beginner friendly at all? I don't know about that. It's probably got a lot of good information, but I don't think I'm gonna start here either. Man, that's... Is there like anything that shows you how to like actually get started with this stuff? Like, what the heck is that about? Alright, let's try this bug bounty flow sheet real quick. Like, what's going on with this? Portswigger Academy, Hacksplained YouTube videos. Because I got this. So, Hacksplained, huh? Let's see what they got going on. Because I'm not just going to like jump into something and go, okay, what are we doing? Alright, hack explained. Okay. Okay, 5-year-old tutorials, that's awesome. Hasn't made a video in 2 years. That's cool. There's gotta be better stuff than this out here. What the heck? I'm so confused with this. What's going on with this? Oop. Register for 𝗿𝗂𝗺 really quick, guys. Alright, we're logged in now. Okay. What is going on with this? Oh. 𝗕𝗲𝗄𝗄𝗧. Oh man, when's the last time I played with VirtualBox? Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, chat. Alright. Let's go. Come on. Nice. Alright, so we got Kali set up in WSL. DLLs everywhere, chat. Alright. Oh, that makes perfect sense. It just mounts out of whatever I'm on. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got 2024 Cali. Okay, we can ping Google. Oh wait, I forgot Control C. Okay, that works. Does this not come with like the actual... Ooh, it'd be interesting if it didn't come with like all the software installed. Because then, like, what's the point, isn't it? Like, wait, what other tools? I mean, most of these just come with it. I can't believe Nmap's not installed. What about netstat? Netstat's working. Okay. Does it have Wireshark installed? What was the password I just made for this? Alright, cool. Figured it out. Alright. Wine? Oh, I recognize this guy. That Windows emulator. Old school stuff. That's that old school chat. There's a whole new thing to install. What? Are you serious? You have to install this crap? That is absurd if you have to install that. Why isn't that launching forever? Oh my gosh, it took forever to install already. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, this is annoying as hell. I might have to take a break on this one, chat. Alright.